And then just when you're ready, we'll start lying down. We're going to start today. If you can, you're going to have your feet wide. Just turn my phone off. But have your feet wide and your knees dropping in. So take the feet to the edges of your mat, so have your knees bent, and then just let your knees drop in towards one another. If that's not suitable for you, then please don't worry about it. And we are doing today as our balance half moon. So if you want to, and you have them grab some blocks, then just make sure they're handy. We'll not use them till the end of the class anyway, but just kind of grab a block if you can. You can always use a wall here as well. But just take your time, just coming down onto your mat. And then just taking a few moments, just coming away from your morning. Just beginning to draw your attention inwards. Start to be aware of your breath. So just allow it to move just easily in and out through your nose. Your breath starts to even out. Start to notice your body, just how it feels this morning. Maybe noticing tension or tightness. Try and allow that to just go. As your body starts to settle down, just noticing for a moment just how you feel. Any thoughts that come into your head, not to hold on to them, but just allow them to leave. In today's class, we're going to do a practice in resilience. So we can think about resilience really as being the ability to bounce back from adversity or from difficult situations. So we all meet up with them, we all encounter difficult situations, and it's really just how we deal with that. So we can either deal with it suffering or we can deal with it with grace. Our yoga practice should help us to do the latter, just to deal with it and just bounce back. So building that resilience physically, mentally, and trying to use kind of coping mechanisms. So the first one we're going to do today is a breathing practice. So we're going to do a 3-part breath, which can help us to really cope with any stressful situations that we may encounter. So you can either keep your legs as they are, or you can start to stretch your legs along the mat if that feels better. And you can either follow the breath with your mind, or if you'd like to, you can also follow it with your hands. So we're going to start just by breathing into the upper part of your chest. So you could just place your hand just lightly on your chest, so just beneath your collarbones. Maybe spread your fingers and start to breathe into your hand in the upper part of your chest. So on the inhale, you'll start to feel the chest rising. And then on the exhale, the chest will just gently fall back in. Just breathing in and out through your nose. And for most of us, this is where we tend to breathe. So just in this upper part of your chest. So just trying to deepen the breath a little bit. If you want to, you can move your hands now down to your rib cage and spread your fingers, relax your shoulders, keep the chest nice and open. And as you inhale, breathe into your hands there. So start to feel that you can move your ribs towards your fingers off. And on the exhale, start to feel the rib cage just moving back in. And then starting to deepen the breath a little bit further, you can move your hands now down to the lower part of your belly, so just beneath your belly button, and start to breathe into your hands here. On the inhale, start to feel the low belly expanding. And on the exhale, the belly button moves more towards the spine. So on the inhale, start to think belly, ribs, chest. Kind of fill up like a cup from the bottom. And then on the exhale, think chest, ribs, and finally belly. Just do that one more time. So that long, deep breath all the way down to your belly. And exhale when you're ready. So we'll keep a deep breath going, not maybe quite as deep as that, but keep breathing deeply in and out through your nose. If you've got a ujjayi breath, then you can use that. So as well as being kind of centered and using our breath, they also need to be quite strong. So we're going to start to bend your knees and we're going to work a little bit through our core. So trying to strengthen the center of our body to help with that resilience. So we're going to draw your right knee in towards your chest, and you can either place your hands on your knee or your shin and draw the knee in a little bit more. And then extend your left leg, so along the ground, but without it touching the ground. And then as you inhale, if you'd like, lift your upper body up off the ground. So we're just drawing the upper body up. On the next inhale, we're just going to change legs. So we're going to extend the other leg away. And on the exhale, you're going to lift your chest up. So you're going to draw yourself up even more. So we'll do that again. So inhale, extending through the leg, draw the other knee in. And on the exhale, start to lift the upper body, draw your belly button towards your spine. So do that again. So inhale to change legs. And then on the exhale, draw everything in a little bit more. Keep that going. So we're just trying to really work on warming up through the center of your body, but really slowly, so slowly and carefully. Trying to build strength in the center of the body. So we move out of a place of strength, and it's much easier to control our reactions than if we, a little bit kind of out of control. So we want to build that strength in the center of our body, and hopefully that gives us the strength when we're not on our mats to feel strong and confident and able to react to situations in which we feel are difficult. Okay, we'll do one more of these, so just take your time. And then slowly and carefully release yourself back down towards the mat. Now this time we're going to keep the right knee in again, but as you extend your left leg, you can just lay it down onto the ground. As well as being strong, we have to also be flexible. So we're going to take the hands behind the back of your right thigh. I'm going to move through this flexibility today. So as you inhale, we're going to extend through your right leg. And as you do that, start to feel the muscles starting to work. Just take it to where it feels, right? And then on the exhale, slowly re-bending the leg. So do that again. So inhale, start to move the leg up. You don't have to fully straighten it. You just take it to where it feels, right? You can always bend your left leg if it feels too much with it along the ground. Slowly re-bend it as you exhale. Okay, we'll do that one more time. And then re-bending the leg on the exhale. Now from there, we'll take a little twist. So we'll take your left hand just onto your right knee. Start to draw that knee over towards the left side. Stretch your right arm out and maybe look along your right hand. As we come into this, just trying to be aware that we need that strength, that we need the flexibility. So one without the other is not good. So if we're strong and we're not flexible, then we might injure ourselves, we might break something. And if we're too flexible without the strength to control it, we might also end up injuring ourselves. On your next inhale, come back towards the center. So just bring yourself back and draw both knees in towards your chest. And as you come in, you can move a little bit. So just maybe side to side. When you're ready, we'll change sides. So again, draw the left knee in, extend your right leg away. And then start to move the hands behind the back of your left thigh. So relax the upper body, press down lightly through your right leg. And as you inhale, start to extend through your left legs. Again, start to feel contraction in the muscles, the stretching in the muscles. On the exhale, slowly rebending the leg. Do that again, just work at your own pace. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to rebend. We'll do that one more time, so just take your own time. And rebend the leg. Okay, so as you rebend it, we'll come in for that twist again. So right hand on the left knee, start to draw the left knee over to the right, start to extend through your left arm and maybe look along your left hand. So when we use yoga for resilience, it's not kind of a linear thing, it's more strands of spirals which kind of come and go and work in tandem. So the breath, the strength, the flexibility, it all helps us. When you're ready, slowly back towards the middle. So drawing your knees in. Again, maybe take a little bit of movement. And then we are going to make our way up, first of all. So you can roll over onto your side or just roll back and forwards and make your way up. So coming up in your own way, we'll come over to an all fours position. So you're just going to make your way over. As you come into all fours today, we're going to work a little bit through your hands and through your wrists. I'm trying to see how it would be best to show this, but we'll go sideways, and then if you can't see, then I'll try and show you another way. But first of all, we're just going to spread your hands under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And we're going to move forwards and back a little bit. So that should be easy enough. So you're just going to move your weight just over your wrist a little bit. And then move it back so it's not on your wrist anymore. So just starting to work through the wrist, through the hands. Spread your fingers a little bit. And just be aware of every kind of little muscle, every little joint in your hands. Okay, when you're ready, come back into the center so your weight is more or less in the middle. And then we're going to move your hands. So we're going to turn the fingers out to the sides of your mats, first of all. So you're just turning the fingers out the way. Now, for some people, that is enough to stretch your wrist, and you don't have to do any more than that. If you can, you could turn again. So you turn your fingers back towards your thighs. And some people can do that with both hands. Okay, I find it quite difficult, quite challenging. So I'm going to do one at a time. Some people won't even like doing that. So, keep your hands facing to the side if you'd like, or both hands facing towards your thighs. And then we'll change again. So we'll bring that hand round. If you're doing one at a time, just bring it round. If you're doing both, you can just stay there. And where the weight of your body is important, so that it's further forwards or further back, or it's in the center, it will change the sensation through your wrist. So you just need to be aware of that and work with what feels right to you. Okay, we'll bring the hands back round, so all the way around, so they're facing forwards again. And then this time, we're going to flip the hands over. So you're just going to turn them so that the back of your hand is on the ground and the fingers are facing towards your thighs. If you want to, again, you can do both hands at the same time here. But again, I'm going to do one and then I'll do the other one. And the weight, again, just experiment with it. Maybe move it slightly further forwards or slightly further back. If you're doing one, we'll change hands. Just take it and do the other one. Again, just see how it feels on your wrist. If you can lay more of your wrist down or less and how that feels. Okay, release your hands. Set yourself back just a little bit so you can pick your hands up and give them a little shake off. And then as you come back in, we're going to bring the hands and we're going to turn the fingers so the fingertips kind of face towards one another. So we're going to do a little push up here. So when you're here, you're just going to take a deep breath in and bend your elbows. So the elbows will go out to the side and lower down. And then rise back up again on that exhale. Again, just bending in the elbows. Try not to take the body weight too far forwards here, so keep it over your arms. And if it feels too easy, you can always walk your knees back and take a little bit more weight onto your arms. If it's fine where you are, then just do that. Okay, we'll just do 2 more like that. So take your time. And then last one. And come back up again and turn your hands forward once more, so the fingertips face forward. And then maybe walk your knees back a little bit. We're going to do 1 tricep push up, but we're just going to come all the way down to your belly. So you probably need to walk your knees back a little bit so you can get that. Keep the hands facing forward, the elbows drawing in, and then just draw your belly in and bend your elbows and lower yourself all the way down to the mat. You can take your time when you get down there. Bring your arms around and drop your head down towards your arms. So it's important in a resilience practice that when we do things, we then take a little rest and we actually let our body absorb the feelings of the work that we do. So we work and we rest and we work and we rest, and it's kind of an ongoing process. So we're going to take your feet about hip distance apart here. Now from here, if you want to, you could just lift your legs up. So on the inhale, we're just going to lift both legs up. And then you can hold there, or you can lower down again. And then if you want to, you could stretch through your arms and lift your arms up as well at the same time. Again, if it feels too much, either lower the legs or just do the legs only. And breathe there. So it's important when you come in to the posture that you can breathe easily. Okay, we'll take 1 more inhale. We'll slowly release down, so release the legs. If you've used the arms, bend them in again, drop your head back down towards your arms. And from here, we're going to come into Sphinx, so we're going to come up onto your forearms. So if you make your way up, so try to make sure that your shoulder is directly over your elbow. The hands and the elbows are about shoulder width apart. So your hands are not facing in or out. And with your body, try and relax your feet a little bit. Pubic bone presses down very gently, and then start to imagine you can lift your belly button up off the ground. And using your fingertips, you can imagine there's little suction pads on them. Try and draw your chest forwards. So it's a little bit like Cobra here. We draw the shoulders down your back. We lift the chest up. So we're not just resting on our arms, but we're actively engaging in the upper body. Okay, we'll take 1 more inhale. Now from here, we're just going to bend your right elbow in. So the right elbow just comes, the right hand comes in towards your left elbow. So you just kind of bring it in the way, just to support you. And then bend your left leg. Now, if you want to, you can just keep the left leg bent, and that's all that will happen. If you want to, you could reach back with your left hand and take hold of your foot and start to draw the foot in towards your hip. And that just allows us to stretch through the front of the thigh a little bit. If it's too much, then release your foot. And watch your breath, keep it even. Take 1 more inhale. Slowly release your foot, so don't let it kind of just ping back, but release it. And come back into Sphinx. So make your way back in, spread your hands, pubic bone down, belly button lifting, shoulders down your back. And breathe there. You will change sides. So we'll bend the left arm in, and then bending through your right leg. Again, if you want to reach back with your right hand, take hold of it if you can. Start to draw the foot in. Or stretch through the front of your thigh. And you're in charge, so you can pull it in more or release it more, or don't hold it at all. You will take 1 more inhale. Slowly release your foot. And then this time, just lay yourself back down again. So relax down towards the mat. Drop your head down, relax your feet and your legs. like that. Okay, from there, we're going to come in to do a little Cobra here. So we'll bring the hands maybe down level with your shoulders. Start to draw the elbows in towards your side. Spread your fingers a lot. Again, pubic bone down, feet nice and relaxed. And as you inhale, we'll start to lift up. As you lift up, try and draw the shoulders down your back. So we don't want to lock the elbows out in this Cobra. We just want to keep them nice and soft. We lift the chest up. Good. Just to wherever you can. You don't have to lift that high. As long as you can breathe there and you feel like you're happy to stay there. For one more breath if you can. And then slowly and carefully release yourself all the way back down. As you release down, bring your arms around and lower your head towards it. And just rest there. Okay, when you're ready, we'll make our way back up. So use your hands again, bring them underneath your shoulders, and then start to just press yourself up onto your knees. Walk your knees back in, so you're coming into this all fours position. And then from here, we'll just do a couple of cat-cow movements. So on the inhale, start to drop the belly down. And on the exhale, rounding through the upper back and shoulders. So do that again, just in your own time. I'll do that one more time, so just take your time again. And then make your way back in towards the center. Then from there, we're going to come to our first downward facing dog. So we're going to tuck the toes under. We'll start to lift the hips up and press them back. As you come into it again, make adjustments to it and maybe pedal your feet a little bit through it. Any little movement that you feel is right for you. When you're ready, on your next inhale, we're just going to lift your heels up and walk up towards the top of your mat. As you come up to the top of your mat, if you bend your knees a lot and separate your feet quite wide, and you can either have your hands here just on your thighs, or you can allow them to release down a little bit. So we're going to move through this. So when you're ready, on an inhale, you're going to start to lower your hips and bend your knees. You might not get very far, it doesn't matter. You just see how far you can get. And then on the exhale, we're going to lift the hips up and kind of re-straighten the legs without straightening them through. So we'll do that again. So you might want to widen your knees a little bit more. So inhale, start to lower the hips. Maybe the chest lifts a little bit as you do that. And on the exhale, start to lift back up. So the idea here is that when we are practicing resilience, then we may fall. Okay, we may fall down. But as long as we can get back up again, so as long as we can pull our belly in and lift our hips and push ourselves back up, then we should be okay. Okay, we'll do that one more time. So just take your time. And then draw your belly in and start to press yourself back up again. Okay, so when you come back up, we'll inhale and lengthen your spine this time. So moving up halfway. So maybe move your hands up your legs. On the exhale, just folding back in. As you inhale here, we'll take the hands down and we'll just step back once more to downward facing dog. So just take your time moving back in. Again, you might make some movements, maybe you just hold still there. Now on your next inhale, we're going to lift your right leg high. We're going to extend the right leg up. We're going to bend through your knee and flex your foot. And if you can, move it a little bit over the left hip, so just to open up through your hip. On your next inhale, draw that right knee into your chest. I'm going to step it up towards the top of your mat. So just step it through. As you come through, you might want to lower your back knee down, and you definitely can. So you can keep your back knee on the ground. In either case, back knee up or down, we're going to lift your chest up. We're just going to reach up with the arms. Good. Again, back knee can be on the ground. Just stay with that if that feels better to you. Make sure your feet are wide enough and you feel pretty balanced. And then when you're ready here, on the inhale, all we're going to do is to lift up through the upper body. So we're just going to stretch your fingers up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, you're just going to release it a little bit. So do that again. So inhale, lifting up, reaching up. Exhale, a little release. Okay, do that one more time. So inhale to reach. Exhale, release. On your next inhale, release your hands down towards your mat. On the exhale, step back, downward facing dog. And again, you can always move to child's pose whenever you want to. So if it feels too much to do this in a corner, then just have a little rest. So we'll do the other side. So as you inhale, we'll lift the left leg high. Bend your knee. Again, flex your foot and move it over the right hip a little. So push up through your hands, draw your belly in. Okay, on your next inhale, draw that left knee in. So we're stepping up towards the top of your mat. So again, lay down to your right knee if you'd like. You don't have to have the right knee lifted here. It's not essential. And then on the inhale, start to lift your chest up. Maybe reach up with your arms. So either stay here or on the inhale, start to lift and lengthen through the upper body. We're keeping the legs pretty much the same. On the exhale, just allow it to release a little bit. Feel the shoulders relax down your spine. Do that again. So inhale, reaching up, stretching through the side body. Exhale, release. Okay, do that one more time. So lifting up, reaching up, release. On your next inhale, release the hands down. Step back, downward facing dog. Lift your heels, lower your knees, and release to child's pose. Taking a little rest there, just seeing how you feel in that child's pose. So relax the arms. Maybe bring your hands underneath your head. Okay, when you're ready, we'll start to make our way back up. So take your time, just making your way back up into that all fours position first. Spread your hands. When you're ready, tuck your toes and lift your hips to downward dog again. Okay, when you're ready, you're going to lift the right leg up again. So as you inhale, lift the right leg. We're just going to step it up towards the top this time. So just stepping that right foot through. Again, with the option of laying your back knee on the ground. Otherwise, lift up through the chest. Yeah, very nice. Okay, so from here, we're going to come in for a little twist. So your left hand is going to reach forwards. And then your right hand could just go onto your right hip. And then if you wanted to, you could reach back with your right arm, stretching it behind you. But again, if that doesn't suit you, it doesn't feel right, then don't bother about it. So stretching from fingertip to fingertip, opening up through your chest. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. Bring your hands back towards the center. Now from here, if you want to, you could come in for another twist, or you could just stay here. So we're going to lean forwards a little bit. Take your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Start to draw yourself round towards that right side. Again, just see how it feels. If it feels too much, bring the hands to the ground or come back to the center. Okay, take one more inhale. Come back into the middle. Reach back up with your arms just for a breath here. And then on the exhale, we're going to open up to warrior two. So we're going to lay your heel down and we're going to open up through your chest. And as you come into warrior two, if you need to make adjustments with your legs, then definitely do that. And keep balance through your feet Open the chest a little bit. Maybe look along your front hand. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We're going to reverse this. So we'll take your left hand down the back thigh, turn your right hand, and then lifting, maybe looking up towards that right hand. So keeping the legs pretty much the same in this warrior, 2 legs, but reversing the warrior by reaching up and back with your hand. Trying to create space for all of the organs in your body, trying to build strength in your legs. Okay, we'll take one more inhale, maintaining this space, come to the middle, and then move forward to side angle. So just lengthen a little bit, maybe just take your right forearm down towards the leg, reach up with your left hand, and if you wanted to, you could grab a block here and place it either to the inside or outside of that front leg. Trying to get that sense of stretching all the way up through the side of your body. So try not to kind of hook over at the top, but keep the arm lengthening up, keep the stretch moving through the side of your body. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. So again, using the strength in your core, start to come back up into warrior 2. Okay, from there, release your hands all the way to the ground. Turn onto the toes of your back leg, so you're in this lunge position. And step back, downward facing dog. Okay, when you get there, lift your heels up, lower your knees down towards the mat, and come back into that child's pose. And just take a moment, see how your body feels on that side. So resilience takes time, it takes practice. And some people think you're actually born with resilience, but you know, you can build it. Face adversity, you jump back a little bit of time. And yoga will help with that. Okay, when you're ready, we'll come back up and we'll try the other side. So make your way up into that all fours position first of all. Again, align your hands and your knees. And when you're ready, tuck your toes and lift your hips, downward facing dog. So this time I'm going to lift your left leg up, so we'll lift it high. And we'll step your left foot up towards the top of your mat. So again, as you come up, you could lay the right leg down, or maybe you just come up into that high lunge, but just see how it feels as you come up to it. So again, stay here, or coming in for that twist. We'll reach the right arm forward. Your left hand could just go into your hip again, or maybe you can reach and open through your left fingertips. Just see how that feels. Again, watch your breath, which you feel pretty balanced and even and centered. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. Come back to the center with your hands to come back in. And then if you want to, you can come in for that twist, so lean forwards a little bit. Right elbow to the outside of your left knee and draw that left elbow back a little bit. Again, just see how it feels. And listening into your breath, breathing deeply. Okay, when you're ready, slowly come to the center and then reach up on an inhale. As you exhale, we'll open up again into warrior 2. Just coming into that other side, reaching through your hands, watching that front knee, so draw it back and opening up through your hips a little bit. And finding your drishti and finding your breath will all help with that resilience. So when you're ready, we're going to reverse it again. So we'll take the right hand down, left arm reaches up. You start to feel the muscles stretching and becoming stronger. And then keeping all that space you've just created, we'll come into side angle. Again, start to move forwards a little bit. Release the hands where it feels right. So either down to your leg or a little bit further down. Keep the chest rotating around, shoulders nice and open. Okay, breathing deeply. And have your adjusty where it will suit you, where it feels right. Okay, we'll take one more in. When you're ready, slowly come back up. So back to warrior two, just for a breath here. Release your hands all the way to the mat. Turn on the toes of your back leg. Step back to downward facing dog. When you get there, lift your heels, lower your knees. Child's pose. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to come up to an all fours position. If you've got your blocks handy, then bring them in. We're going to do a little prep for half moon first of all. So you can try that first and then we'll try half moon. So we'll come onto your hands and onto your knees. Again, draw your belly in a little bit. And then as you inhale, we're just going to extend your right leg behind you. So just take it behind you. And just have the toes just resting on the ground. Keep the hips nice and level. And on your next inhale, just lift that right leg up. So just level with your hip. On the exhale, release it down, but just so the toes can skim the ground. So do that again. So inhale, start to lift the leg up. Keep your weight between your hands, balanced. Exhale to lower. Do that again, so lift. And then on the next time, when you lift up, we're just going to hold up. And one of the aspects of half moon is that we rotate the hips. So at the moment, your hips are facing towards the ground. As you inhale, we're going to rotate the hips. So we're trying to kind of get the hips a bit more vertical. And then on the exhale, release the hips back towards the ground. So do that again. So inhale, start to rotate through your hip a little bit. Exhale, release it. So back into that horizontal plane. Do that again. So inhale, lift up. Exhale to release. Do that one more time. So inhale. And exhale. This time, lower your knee and just press yourself back to child's pose. As you do that, maybe move your hands or your wrists or any little movement that you feel you want to do, if you feel it a lot in your wrist. Okay, we'll come back up. We're going to try that on the other side, so just see how it feels. Again, we'll spread the hands, knees underneath your hips, belly drawing up and in. And then on the inhale, we'll just extend your left leg behind you, so just toes towards the ground. On your next inhale, just start to lift it up. So we're just lifting level with the hip. Good. Exhale to lower. So again, maybe just touching the ground as you come down, or maybe just hovering. So do that again. So inhale, lift up. Good. Try and keep your back nice and flat, so we're not kind of arching it as we come up. And then on the last one, just lift up and hold up. So just holding that leg. So again, both hip bones at the front of your body facing towards the mat. And then as you inhale, try and rotate round a little bit. So you kind of stack the hip on top of the hip. On the exhale, back and towards the center. So do that again. So inhale, rotate round. exhale back. Do that twice more, so just in your own time, see how it feels. And last one. Well done. Slowly release and release back into that child's pose. Okay, so if you've got your blocks, just have them just in front of you a little bit. We'll be using them in a moment. You probably only need one, okay? But if you've got two and you want to have two in front of you, then get the two blocks and have them there. Okay, so the other thing you could do here before we come into that half moon is that you could move yourself towards the wall. If you've got a wall handy, I do have one, so I'll show you the wall as well. But if you don't have one, don't worry, you should be okay. If you've got one, you may as well use it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come to downward facing dog. Okay, so when you're ready, from this all fours, we'll spread your hands, knees underneath your hips, and then tuck your toes and lift your hips back to that down dog. And then we're going to step your right foot up towards the top of your mat again. So we've done this a couple of times now. So as you step that right foot through, if you have your block slightly out to the side of your right foot, but also in front of it. You don't want it in line with your right foot, but you want it kind of in front. If you're using another block, then you'll have it underneath your left hand. If you're not, you can just have your left hand on the ground, even if you're on your fingertips. And then using your block in your right hand, you're going to start to push through your right leg and you're going to lift up through that left leg. So you're kind of in a bit of a standing split situation to start with. And then from there, you could start to maybe take your left hand and lift it off the ground. You maybe just put it onto your hip. And then maybe you could turn that hip, so like we did when we were on all fours, flexing the foot, toes facing towards the side. And then maybe you can reach up through your left hand. And if you are near a wall, then just have the block pretty close to the wall. And then you can actually lean against the wall. And it does help because you can then flatten your hips against the wall, which sometimes you can't do, if you're kind of splatted against the wall in that sideways position. Just, come out of it when you want to. You don't have to stay in it. Just move out of it whenever you want to or need to. Okay, very nice. Okay. We'll come back down. So we'll make our way to down dog if you can. You can come into that lunge first. Lift your heels, lower your knees, and release back to child's pose. You can have a little rest, just see how it all feels once you come back down. Think about how it feels in your body and don't be too hard on yourself if it didn't quite work. You can get an opportunity to try it on the other side. Okay, so we'll make our way back up just to all fours again. And again, when you're ready, just make sure your blocks are in front of you. If you're using a wall, just come close to it. Spread your hands, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward dog. And then as you come into down dog, we'll step the left foot up towards the top of your mat. So coming into that lunge position. And then to position your block, just have it about maybe a foot away from your left foot and then maybe a foot in front as well. So it's quite far out and quite far forwards. Then place your left hand on that block. Start to push into your left toes, lift your right leg up. Again, you might just stay with this. You might just practice this for a little bit. Maybe you can start to lift your right hand and take it onto your right hip. Maybe you can start to rotate round through your hip and flex your foot. Maybe you reach the arm up. Again, if you use the wall, you will find that it will be a lot easier. You can have your block quite close to it and actually lean against it. And then you can really work through the hip and try and open up the hip. Because it's not easy when you're standing on one leg to then rotate your hip as well. Very nice, Dorothy. Okay, we'll take one more in here. When you're ready, again, release your hands down first. Step all the way back, so if you can, into that lunge position. Step back into downward facing dog. Lift your heels, lower your knees, release yourself down. And just relax here when you get there. Okay, when you're ready, slowly start to come back up. So you can walk your hands back in. We're going to do another little breathing practice before we come down onto your mat. So you can just sit in a comfortable position. So if you want to sit cross-legged, then do that. If you want to sit in a block or in any other comfortable seated position. We tend to do the breathing, quite a lot of the breathing practice is sitting, just because it gives you more space in your body. You can do it lying as well. So sit upright. We're going to create a little mudra with our hands. So this breath is a cooling breath, and it's called Chandra Badana, and its name in out of Sanskrit is moon piercing breath. So we breathe through the left nostril, which is meant to be cooler, our cooler side. It kind of levels your head, if you like, and it's lunar, so it's kind of moon rather than sun. So we use our right hand, so I'm going to use my right hand as well, and the two peace fingers are going to just go between your eyebrows. So again, that position of pressing your two peace fingers against your eyebrow, the center of your eyebrows, is meant to quiet your mind. And then your thumb on that right finger is going to be used to close off your right nostril, and the ring finger is going to be used to close off the left nostril. It is really easy. It's not like our Nadi Shavasana or alternate nostril breathing. So just press your fingers gently. When you're ready, we're going to close off the right nostril, and you're going to inhale through the left. Close off the left, exhale through the right. Close off the right, inhale through the left. Close off the left, exhale through the right. And we just continue with that. So you're just going to do about 8 to 10 breaths like that. Just closing off the right, inhaling through the left, and exhaling through the right. We'll do that one more time. When you finish, you can release your hands just to your lap. Come back in, just to a normal breath. From here, we're just going to make our way down onto your back. So take your time coming down. We're going to do a little bridge when you get there. So if you wanted to, you could use your block again and make it a little bit more restorative, but just see how that feels when you get there. So as you lay yourself on your back, we'll have the feet at distance. And then if you want to just lift your hips and place your block underneath, and again at any height, and then just rest your hips down onto the block, and you can just relax there if you'd like. If you'd like a little bit more, then we'll come up and just holding at the top of your bridge, so wherever that is. And again, either please just stay here, or if you want a little bit more than that, so if you still want to work through that strength, then we'll lift the right leg up and we'll keep it level with the left knee. So we're just lifting the hips, squeezing the glutes, working through the legs. Again, if it feels like too much hard work at this stage, then just rest into it. We'll take one more inhale. Again, if you're on your block, you'll just stay there. If you're not, release the leg and change sides. So the left leg up and just holding there. And then just releasing both legs. So from there, we'll come out of our bridge. So again, if you've got your hands clasped, you can release them. If you're using a block, lift your hips, release the block, and release yourself down. As you come down, we'll draw the knees in towards your chest. You can just pull them in a little bit. Maybe make a little bit of movement side to side. And then from there, we're just going to drop both knees just over towards one side. As you get there, spread your arms wide and turn your head and look along the opposite arm. Okay, we'll bring it back to the center. We'll just move the other way. So just take your legs all the way across to the other side, spread your arms, look along your other arm. When you're ready, back into the middle. So again, any little movements that you want to make now, then just make them. And then we are just going to make our way into Shavasana. So if you do want to grab some socks or a jumper or something, then please do that. And then just when you're ready, get yourself comfortable. Start to breathe a little bit more deeply. Inhale through your nose. You hold it for a moment. And then exhale slowly. Allow your breath just to flow deeply and easily. Bring your awareness to the sensations of your breath and the gentle rhythm it creates within you. Letting it be just as it is. Each inhale and exhale, announcing the next. Expand your awareness to the sensations of your body, lying long and straight with dignity, and bring your attention to the surface beneath you and the support it provides. Root your body into its strength and become aware of your connection to it. Complete, whole, and in this moment, you're grounded by its unwavering resolve. As you lie here, visualize a grand mountain whose peaks pierce smoky clouds and continue upward where the air is clear and the view is endless. A mountain with slopes that are both jagged and gentle, supported by a vast foundation rooted deep in the bedrock of the earth. This mountain is a monument to all that is solid, grand, unmoving, and beautiful. Picture the mountain, Maybe there are trees. Perhaps a snow blanket covers its lofty heights. Perhaps waterfalls are cascading through the centre of it. However it is, just let it be. This perfect creation. Be this mountain and share in its stillness. Grounded in your posture, your head its skyward peaks, supported by the rest of your form, granting you an awe-inspiring perspective of the landscape before you, behind you, and about you. Be this mountain. Take on its stability as your own. From the top of your crown, down your neck, and into the balance of your shoulders like cliffs, descending into your arms and forearms, and coming to rest in the valley of your hands. Be the mountain. Your feet, legs, and hips its base, solid and rooted beneath you. A foundation extending up your spine and abdomen, a core of stability. The rhythm of your breath is all that moves you. A living mountain, alive and aware, yet unwavering in inner stillness. Completely what you are, beyond words and thought. A centered, grounded, unmovable presence. When you're ready, we'll take a deep inhale through your nose. And then we're just going to sigh it out your mouth. Do that again, just deeply inhale. And then just let it go. When you're ready, we'll start to move a little bit. So through your fingers and your toes. Maybe stretching your arms over your head. Stretching all the way down to your feet. As you bring your arms over, maybe you start to bend your knees, drawing the knees in. You can move a little bit if you'd like. And then when you're ready, you'll either start to roll over onto your side or start to make your way up. Just take your time without rushing. And just find a comfortable seat when you're ready. And bring the palms together just in front of your heart. Just leaving a little gap just to signify an openness in your heart. Thank you so much for coming along and practicing with me this morning. Hope you enjoyed our resilience practice. Namaste. Okay, thank you very much. I'll just stop the recording and then you can unmute.